What's up, guys? What I am going to do today is I'm going to react to his story. So I'm going to do a video. Holy chat, why is there so many people reacting to him? What the heck is this? He actually revealing himself is crazy. Okay, let's do it. Let's just go into his channel. Let's do the crazy one. Popular videos. And days ago, 2 weeks ago. What? I didn't know he was this. Okay, let's collaborations. I don't want to collab. Videos. Latest. Holy, there's so many. I don't care, chat. Doors Hitman. What? I'm sorry, this is taking a little bit. What the flip is this? His story. Yeah, I'm just gonna go to videos. Popular. I'm gonna watch this one.
I just wanted to change my
My bad.
clothes after PE and get to science class without any troubles. Then,
Wait,
as
are we gonna ignore the fact that he's kind of chubby? I'm like, no offense, but
I was sitting on the bench, one shoe off, I just wanted to
why is he a little bit chubby? I'm sorry, but why is he chubby?
change my clothes after PE and get to science class without any troubles.
Okay.
Then, as I was sitting on the bench, one shoe off, one shoe on, I heard Chester Marshall's voice carry across the empty room. Heard you
what
said
is it
something
with
about me in
Chester?
third period.
Oh my gosh.
Beach. I hadn't. I never said anything about anyone. I felt my stomach in knots. Turned around to see Chester 6 inches from my face. All 4'11", 110 pounds of him. His big brother Bo had the locker room door
4'11"?
closed as he watched with his arms crossed. Bo's twin brother Cody leaned against the lockers, looking bored. Both of them were 6'8", 300 pounds each, and were starting linemen on the football team. They were both 20 years old and still walking the halls of my high school like a pair of tired bears because every time the school tried to graduate them, they punched somebody and got held.
They got held back way too many times. I mean, like, gosh dang, like, these people suck at school. Don't punch people.
Back a year. These were the notorious Marshall brothers. Chester knew
Notorious big. I mean, they got it big though. They actually got it big though.
no one would mess with him because
Notorious bigs. That's crazy.
they were terrified of his massive brothers. Chester looked at his right hand that had a scorpion tattoo on the inside of his wrist.
I'm sorry. How old is he? He can't be having a tattoo at that young.
Have you ever felt a scorpion sting? I stayed still, thinking that if I didn't respond,
gosh.
I could just disappear, and it would maybe be better. I was wrong because he slapped me hard across the face. My fists clenched up. Pure rage flooded through me. I felt the muscles in my arms lock and my weight shift forward, and for half a second I almost let myself tear his head off. Then I saw his massive, monstrous brothers both watching me very closely. Chester smiled, grabbed a fistful of my hair, and drove my face into the metal of the locker room door. The sound of my nose breaking was like someone snapping a pencil under a towel. Blood ran straight down my chin and started dripping onto the tiles. His knee came up into my stomach, folding me over. He whacked me across the back of my
Yo, you're lucky you didn't turn into a lawn chair, bro. That'd be crazy if you turned into a lawn chair. Chat, let's just go.
head with 2 more punches, sending me down to the ground. Then he started kicking. 3, 4, 5 times.
He's short, and how is he beating you up? He's the shortest little man and weakest little man. You look at his little biceps right there. Dang.
In the ribs, his sneakers pounding into me. I curled up because there was nothing else I could do, and I emotionally detached because I had
Turn into a shrimp. That's all I gotta say.
to in order to deal with this. Stay down, piss boy. Bo and Cody giggled from the doorway. I love it when he has nicknames for his victims. Yeah, wait until Dad gets home and hears about this. He's gonna love it. The whole thing lasted about 90 seconds, and then Chester spit on me and then walked out. I lay on the blood-wet tile and listened to their sneakers fade down the hallway. I got up slowly, cleaned my face at the sink with brown paper towels, and stuffed wet tissue up my nostrils until the bleeding stopped. I felt like such a pathetic, helpless loser. Then I realized that this had gone on for over a year, and I needed to report it. I went and told the principal, and he was shocked. Chester, you expect me to believe that little shrimp is actually hurting anyone? He's one of our best students. Don't you have anything better to do? Get out of my office. On my way out, I bumped into Chester's father, Wayne Marshall. Watch where you're going. He giggled and then hugged my principal. I was horrified. No wonder he backed up Chester. He was friends with his dad. To make matters even worse, Wayne had just come out of prison after a 10-year stint for manslaughter. The principal saw me staring at both of them and nudged Wayne. This dumb kid actually just told me that Chester is picking on him. They both busted up laughing so hard that even the secretary joined in. I felt so small. Then Wayne called out, "Yeah, all 4 feet, nothing of him." They cracked up even harder as the principal blurted out, "Stop, stop, you're gonna make me piss myself." The entire office erupted in laughter. I shook my head and left feeling hopeless. I felt invisible, like I didn't matter or exist to anyone. I had no one else to turn to, so I went home that night, sat across the kitchen table from my dad, who was an ex-Marine, and I told him everything. He didn't say anything for a full minute, then looked at me with a cold, hard glare that I had never seen before. He stood up and grabbed his keys off the counter. "Get in the truck." We drove for 30 miles in silence. Then he glanced over at me. "This is on me. I thought I had trained you better to defend yourself. I'm really sorry, son. I think it's because after your mother died, I didn't want to be too hard on you, but that's gonna change now." That made me really sad because I knew he had always tried to do his best. I didn't ask where we were going. He didn't tell me. We finally pulled into a strip mall parking lot. The sign over one of the doors read, "Combat Sports." Through the front window, I could see a boxing ring, a row of heavy bags, and a man inside taping another fighter's hands. I felt really insecure and scared. "I'm too busy to train you in the way you should be trained, so I'm handing you off to a fellow Marine." Dad walked me through the door, and the man came over. He was maybe 5'10", lean, with cauliflower ears, and the kind of nose that's been broken so many times, it was barely there. "It's great to see you, Rico." They shared a hug. "So, this is your boy, huh?" "Yeah, he needs to learn how to handle himself. The real shit. Don't go easy on him." Rico looked me up and down. He pressed on my shoulders, felt my hands, and noticed the way I was standing. Rico didn't believe in conditioning you slowly. He believed in throwing you into the deep end and seeing if you remembered how to swim. The first day he made me jump rope for 20 straight minutes. I couldn't do it, and he didn't care. He stood there with a stopwatch, and every time I tripped, "Start over." By the end of the 20 minutes, I was on the ground throwing up into a bucket while he made notes on a clipboard. I looked at myself in the mirror that night and saw Chester's ugly face taunting me. "You ain't nothing but a weak-ass little piss boy." I felt terrified that I wouldn't be able to do this. The second day, he put me in front of a heavy bag and showed me how to throw a jab. Just a jab. For an hour. Left arm out, retract, left arm out, retract, until my shoulder was cooked. Every jab I threw, I saw Chester's face laughing at me on the heavy bag. "You missed, piss boy." I punched the bag harder and harder, using his words as continuous motivation. The third day, he put gloves on me and we sparred. Or at least, that's what he called it. I called it being hit in the face and the liver for 10 minutes by a 40-year-old former pro who was holding back just enough not to kill me. By the end of the round, I was crying. He pulled the gloves off my hands. "Save your tears for someone who cares. See you tomorrow." I went back the next day, and the next. I'd still get emotional after getting hit. Rico pulled me aside. "It's not just about the physical. You're gonna get tested mentally, and that'll be the hardest test you ever face." I understood and started to harden on the inside. I trained 6 days a week for months and months. Then one Tuesday, I looked at myself in the mirror, and my shoulders weren't the same shoulders I had in January. My jaw was set differently. There's a vein running down my forearm that wasn't there before, and my abs are starting to show. I went to school and saw Chester walking with his big brothers down the hallway and thought to myself, "Just wait until the last day of school, you piece of crap. There's a tornado coming." As I kept sparring, I started to find the rhythm and find the openings. I knocked a semi-pro onto his back with a left hook he never saw coming. He got up laughing, slapped me on the shoulder and told Rico, "He's getting good." Rico nodded. Through all of it, I said nothing at school. I let Chester keep taking my lunch money. He took it on a Tuesday, and I handed it over without a word, my eyes staring down at the floor, the way I had been doing it ever since sophomore year. He shoved me into a locker on the way out of English class, and I bounced off it and kept walking like I always had. He poured Coke down my back in the cafeteria one day, and I sat there and let it run down into the waistband of my jeans. I didn't move, and I didn't speak. I wanted him to think that nothing had changed. I wanted him relaxed. I wanted him sloppy. I was stoic and quietly cold and had nothing but revenge on my calendar. June 14th, the last day of school. That date was the only thing I cared about. June 14th was a half day. Everyone was hanging out in the courtyard. Kids running around signing each other's yearbooks and crying about how much they'll miss everyone. I walked through the building with my backpack slung over one shoulder, and I didn't sign anybody's yearbook. I didn't care about anyone, not even Lauren anymore, who pretended I didn't exist my entire senior year. I went out of the side door by the gym, and I found Chester behind the building, smoking a cigarette next to the dumpster. He saw me, and he gave me that same little smirk. "What's up, piss boy? Want another ass whooping?" He shoved me in the chest. I let myself rock back a half step. He shoved me again, harder. I stayed quiet. I let my hands hang loose at my sides. He wound up for a slap. I smiled, feeling excitement I never knew I could feel. "Hey Chester, have you ever felt a scorpion sting?" He stared at me, confused. 14 months of pure, murderous rage formed within my gut as my left jab sprung out. 7 months of left arm out, retract, left arm out, retract. It caught him flat on the nose, and I heard the cartilage snap. His head jolted back. Before he could process what had happened, I came over the top with a right cross that caught his temple, rotated his whole skull on his neck, and dislocated his jaw. He started to fall. He didn't get to finish falling because another left hook slammed into his ribs on the way down, cracked 3 of them, and folded him sideways. As his head dropped to about waist level, a knee came up and caught him under the chin. He hit the concrete with a loud thud. I have never felt such deep satisfaction. I stood over him, breathing slow and even, the way Rico had taught me to breathe in the ring, in through the nose, out through the mouth. Then I heard a loud guttural yell. "What the hell?" I turned around and saw Bo and Cody charging towards me with rage in their eyes and clenched fists. I felt the fear grip my throat, but I put my fists up and braced myself. They rushed towards me, and right before they reached me, they stopped. They both wanted to hit me, but hesitated. They froze. Both of them were deeply conflicted with what to do. "Hit me like that." He held his arms out. "Come on, tough guy. Hit me like that." Cody pulled up next to him. "Yeah, hit one of us. Do it. I dare ya." I was terrified for a few seconds. Then I understood perfectly. "You kids can't take a swing at me, can you? You'll both be expelled, probably end up in jail." By the look in their eyes, I could tell I was right. I smiled. "You need me to swing first, then you can swing and call it self-defense." I grinned, flipped them off, stepped over an unconscious Chester, and walked away. I never set foot in that high school again. I heard later that Chester was rushed to the hospital. My dad was waiting on the porch when I got home. I sat down next to him on the steps, and I told him what I'd done. He nodded once. Good. I was happy as hell that night. I woke up thinking that I finally had a whole new life with nothing but happiness and joy to look forward to. Then I got a call from my cousin Sarah that works as a nurse at the local hospital. "Hey, are you the one that beat up some kid named Chester?" "Yeah. How did you know?" "His father, Wayne, is here, along with his 2 big brothers. He has a broken jaw, a broken nose, 3 broken ribs, and a severe concussion. He's gonna need to be fed through a straw." "Good. Well, I'm calling because when his dad saw him, he swore vengeance. I mean real murderous vengeance. And he knows it was you." I hung up, terrified. Wayne was a vicious ex-criminal who—
Hold up. This is going to get crazy. I'm just wondering, out of the whole, as long as I've been on YouTube, I've only got 2 comments. You guys can comment when you want. And please like and subscribe to this video. This is hard.
Spent his whole life in and out of prison. I immediately told my dad about Wayne, and he knew exactly who he was, and tensed up. Shit. I got even more nervous when I saw my dad turned cold. A day later, a black pickup truck drove by with tinted windows. Then an hour later, the same black pickup drove by, but this time, there was a red pickup truck right behind it. Both trucks slowed down at our mailbox, then peeled out and sped off. My dad pulled me inside. "Remember when I showed you how to handle the shotgun and the rifle?" I swallowed my fear.
Dang.
"Yes, sir. Refresh your memory, because these guys aren't playing around." I grabbed the guns out of the closet and went through loading, aiming, and unloading. I readjusted the scope on the rifle and got it ready while my dad checked around the perimeter of our house. He then checked all the locks on the doors and handed me rubber buckshot bullets. "We want them stopped, not dead." That gave me some sense of relief because I didn't want murder on my conscience. "Look, son, you did your part in this. You stood up for yourself and did what's right. Now it's my turn to let these assholes know that we won't be messed with. So I need you to stay upstairs." I was confused and mad. "What? Why? Because fighting someone in hand-to-hand combat is a very different thing than dealing with weapons. But you've been training me on how to shoot ever since I was 3. I understand that, but it's my final decision. I can't have you getting into any real trouble over this. If shit gets really bad, I will be the one to handle it, not you. Remember, real strength is restraint. Hurting people is easy. Knowing when not to is hard. I knew I couldn't argue with him when he gave me that look. Turn out every light in the house. If they come in here, we'll still know where everything is and have the advantage. I went upstairs, turned out all my lights, cracked open my window just a bit so I could hear someone coming, and I waited. I only had my cell phone that was casting any light if I needed it. The next several minutes were completely silent except for the eerie hum of our refrigerator. I could hear and feel my heart pounding in my chest. A few seconds later, I noticed my cell phone had no service. They must have cut our Wi-Fi connection at our electrical box, which meant we couldn't call the cops. Then my stomach dropped when I heard footsteps coming from the outside. I quietly looked out of the edge of my window blind and saw Wayne Marshall, Bo, Cody, and what I assumed was Wayne's brother, who was a massive tattooed monster of a man. They were all carrying handguns and shotguns, and I'd bet my life that they weren't loaded with rubber bullets. I quickly turned away, having never felt terror that deeply coursed through my veins. I looked out again and saw Wayne pound on our front door and call out, "Your boy has a debt to pay. My son is on life support from a concussion that he did not deserve. He's an innocent, fragile, small kid that your son bullied." I shook my head in disgust at how bad of a lie that was. "So you're gonna hand over that dickhead son of yours, and we're gonna beat his little ass into oblivion, and you're gonna watch. Or else we'll come in there and take out whoever we need to. And we are not leaving this property until justice is served." I felt a burning mix of fear and rage boiling up in me. My dad wasn't having it. "I don't know what kind of lies you've been told about your angel of a son, but it's all bullshit. For over the last 2 years, that tiny bully tortured and beat up my son every damn day at school, and those big brothers of his were helping." I grinned, proud that I had an awesome dad who had my back. Then I heard Cody chime in. "He's lying, Dad. We both saw his kid beat up on Chester because he's so small." Wayne called out even louder. "It looks like you and I are at an impasse and have different understandings of what has occurred. So I'm gonna give you 10 seconds before we bust this door down, and I am not leaving here until justice is served, and I bring that little piss boy to the brink of death." I felt a chill travel up my spine. He wasn't kidding, and he was willing to follow through. That scared the crap out of me. My father wasn't afraid at all. "I'm gonna warn you redneck assholes one time. If you take one step inside my house, you will be fired upon. And just so you're aware, I was planning to arm myself with rubber bullets. Well, those have been switched out to real bullets. So you will be taking your own life in your hands if you bust in here." There was a cold silence. I felt them hesitate after hearing that. I peeked outside and saw Wayne signal to Cody and Bo to head around to the back. The uncle went to the side of the house, and Wayne started kicking in at the door. Our house was old, and the wooden door wouldn't hold up for very long. Each kick he landed, I heard the wood splinter and crack. Then I heard the glass of our side window crash through. The fragile quality of my house made me feel so vulnerable to outside forces. There was no protection, and I hated that Dad wanted me to stay up here. I paced frantically, desperately wanted to go down and help him, so I grabbed my shotgun and waited at the top of the stairs. I looked down and couldn't see where my dad was. Then Wayne's boot busted through the front door. I got startled. Then I saw Wayne reach in, unlock it from the inside, and swing open the broken door. Only moonlight was casting any light into the room, and I thought to myself, will this be my last night on Earth? Wayne entered, shotgun aimed. Then I saw Cody and Bo climb in through the side window and heard the back door getting pounded in by their uncle. I panicked. Never felt that much fear in my life. Not only for myself, but for my dad, who was only one man versus 4. Then Wayne looked up towards me. Come out wherever you are. Pop, pop. I heard 2 loud shots, looked down, and saw my dad had shot Wayne twice in the gut. He keeled over in pain and dropped his shotgun. There wasn't any blood, which meant my dad still used rubber bullets. I was relieved to see that, but grew even more fearful when I thought that his brothers and the uncle would retaliate against my dad. Cody saw me at the top of the stairs and started rushing up towards me. I held my breath, readied myself, moved to the side of the hallway, waited for him to come up, and as he stepped over the last step, I slammed the hardest roundhouse kick across his face that I've ever thrown in my life. I heard the bone of his nose bust as he tumbled back down the stairs in a heap and smacked into the floor at the bottom. I heard him yell out in agony, looked down, and saw that he had landed wrong on his right leg and broke it. It was crooked and mangled. I felt vindicated because it was the perfect kick, then fell back into sheer terror when Bo aimed his gun up at me and fired 3 times. My ears were ringing, heart pounding out of my chest. My dad called out, "Put that gun down right now, son." He was talking to Bo. "I'll take out your father if you don't." Bo hesitated and turned around to see my dad standing behind Wayne with his shotgun aimed at his neck. "If you take any more shots at my son, I will end your father. Do you hear me?" I was amazed and alarmed at how calm my dad's voice was when he said that. Then everything took a turn for the worse when their uncle tackled my dad from behind and slammed him down to the ground. He had snuck in from the back door. Wayne, the uncle, and Bo all aimed their guns down at my dad. I froze, panicked. I couldn't just let them hurt my dad. Wayne kicked my dad a few times in the ribs and looked up at me at the top of the stairs. "You better get down here, boy, or else your little daddy's gonna be paying a visit to an early grave." Cody was still at the bottom of the stairs, unable to move at all. My dad glanced up at me, still so eerily calm. "Don't you dare come down here, son. Don't worry about me. I'll be all right." Wayne took his shotgun, stuck a knee in my dad's chest, and aimed the weapon in his face while Bo and the uncle held him down. I was so scared that they would hurt him. I wanted to cry, but I held it back. Wayne looked up at me. "I'm gonna give you 5 seconds to get down here, boy, or I'll end him. I've done it many times before. I'll do it again. 5, 4, 3. I had no idea what to do, but didn't feel like I actually had a choice. I knew that I had to give in, so I tossed my gun down the stairs. "All right, take it easy. I'm coming down," my dad barked. I said, "Don't come down here," I barked at him. "I won't sit back and let them hurt you, Dad. I'm coming down." I slowly walked down the stairs and stood in front of them with my hands up. My dad was laying on his back and had positioned himself near Wayne's legs. I made eye contact with my dad and was searching for some type of signal, but didn't see one. My fear grew in intensity, and I started mentally preparing myself for what's to come. I could barely breathe and felt a quiet adrenaline coursing through my blood. If I was about to take the worst beating of my life to save my dad, so be it. I made my way closer to Wayne. Bo and the uncle were standing on both sides of me. I glared at Wayne with a quiet, focused rage. Chester was the worst bully our school had ever encountered, and I think deep down, you know the truth about him. I hadn't ever hurt anyone my entire life until your son brought nothing but violence and hatred toward not just me, but every kid in the school, boys and girls. And your other 2 sons not only allowed it, they supported it. Wayne smiled as if he was proud of what they did. I raised them to be tough. If you can't stand the heat, get the hell out of the kitchen.
Yeah.
So you think hurting girls is them being tough, huh? Wayne wasn't about to back down. The bitch probably deserved it. Bo and Cody laughed. That enraged me. I thought to myself, they might get the best of me, but I will take them to the grave with me, so help me God. Wayne gestured at Bo. "Grab him, take him out back. It's time to enjoy the sweet taste of justice." This whole situation tested my will. This is what Rico was talking about. This was the ultimate mental test, and I was prepared. I knew that I needed to act quickly, so I nodded at my dad, giving him a signal. I took a long, deep breath in, knowing we only had one chance at survival. My dad nodded back, so I quickly threw a spinning sidekick into Bo's ribs and heard 3 distinct cracks. He keeled over in agonizing pain, his ribs definitely busted. At the same moment, my dad grabbed the uncle's leg, tripped him, wrapped his legs around his neck from below, and put him in a strangling chokehold. He was unconscious within seconds. Wayne was the last man standing. He saw that both of his sons were taken out and realized that the uncle was also unconscious. So he aimed his shotgun at me, and I didn't have the leverage to attack him. I wasn't close enough. I froze, felt abject terror. He grinned, started to pull the trigger. Then my dad swept his feet out from under him, causing him to fall forwards, drop the gun, and faceplant into the hardwood floor. Wayne went to reach for his shotgun, so I took a step towards him and pretended his head was a soccer ball. "Hey Wayne, have you ever felt a scorpion sting?" He glanced up at me, confused. "That's something your cunt of a son used to ask me." I took a step and kicked him in the side of the head so hard that he was knocked out for over 20 minutes. I helped my dad up and embraced him. I've never felt more relief and satisfaction in my life. The police finally arrived and carted all 4 of these idiots out on stretchers. 2 days later, a police officer called me at home, and I put him on speaker so my dad could hear. A judge has put Wayne back in federal prison for another 10-year stint for attempted murder. His brother and his sons will all be joining him for 5 years. Thank you, officer. A month later, I walked across the graduation stage in my blue gown with a tassel on my head, and I saw the principal. He had heard what happened with Chester's family, and he put his hand out to shake mine. He had a look of empathy and was hoping that I had forgotten that he did nothing to help me. "No hard feelings, right, son?" I ignored his hand and flipped him off. "Eat a dick." His face turned green with embarrassment because I made sure all the other teachers heard that. Then I walked past Chester, who was also graduating. He was still really weak and sitting off to the side. His jaw was wired shut. I leaned down to him and whispered, "When I think about how bad I beat your ass, it gives me the warm and fuzzies."
Thank you for watching. I hope you all have a good day. Please like and subscribe.